Hello. Welcome back to the live stream of today's the 26th of January. We are on Take Profit Trading live stream here today. We're going to be trading the DOW, and we should be live now. Welcome back. So first of all, yesterday, another pain in the backside day, unfortunately. 2 losers again, which puts us on 4 losing trades in a row, 2 losing days in a row. Unfortunately, we got taken long yesterday, and then we got taken hello once again, and we're back now. Hopefully that should be better. Just have to restart my computer, unfortunately. Now I have hiccups because I've tried to eat a sandwich in the time. It took my computer to restart. I'm going to have the screen up here in a second. I'm just going to be logging in. And I just want to make sure that no one sees my password. So just give me a second here. Okay, that should be back on now. We can show you that screen, hopefully. Doesn't want to be showing for some reason. Great start today. There we go. We're back. Okay, so hopefully everything is working well now. I'm just going to double check on the other browser to check that it's coming through okay. Sorry about the technical issues today. We've still got 10 minutes to go until we have our trade. Just gonna open up my own live stream. Yeah.
How about trade?
Yeah, that looks like it's working fine. It is good to see, and I can watch that as my so I get a view. So yeah, I just need to open up one more window here, and then I can show you what's happened yesterday and what we're hoping for today. Yes, so this is what I was looking for. This is the document I'm looking for. So yesterday we finished minus $162 after commissions. This week's been the worst week so far of the year, minus $241. But we're still up on the month of $733.54. And on the actual account, it's actually a bit higher because I had one day back in 2023. That means that that I didn't stream for, because I only started this in 2024. So welcome if you're here for the first time. We are doing an Apex challenge every day so far this week. It's been a pretty crap week in terms of trading for me anyway, but it's nothing that I'm worried about in particular. There's just been too much difference between the NASDAQ and the Dow for me this week, and the ES. Again, today if we look at the open, then Dow has opened up quite strongly again. The ES tried, but now it's clear to see which is the strongest anyway. So we're waiting for this 15-minute bar to finish. The first bar was a big bar, 147 to 278, so 130 points ish. The second bar hoping to be a bit smaller, 222 at the minute to 279, so 57 points, which is fine. The smaller the bar, the less risk we're gonna have as well. So yeah, that's the plan today. Just start recording the screen so that I don't forget that. And yeah, what else has happened? Not much really to mention, I don't think. We've got 4 minutes here until the trades that we want starts coming to play. And I forgot to use my mouse, so I'm just gonna quickly find my mouse, and then I'll be back. I'll be 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Found my mouse, and I also managed to find a piece of chocolate whilst I was away. So we can have that whilst we wait these next 3 minutes. Yeah, so as we were talking about, NASDAQ's opened weak. S&P's opened pretty weak as well. And the Dow has opened strong. Very strong compared to the other two. So in theory, we would like to be long the Dow and hope that the other two pick up. But having that's not worked out the last few days, then I wouldn't mind getting taken short first. Maybe we go long after that as well. I don't know, but yeah, there's no news for us to really look at today. 4 o'clock pending home sales, orange, nothing to mention really. Only one red item today, and it was at 2:30, and it didn't seem to do much to the markets anyway, just moved it a little bit. But we got the setup coming in less than a minute now, 45 seconds. Our low currently is 221, so our sell is going to be at 216, and our high is at 279. Is that 278? So I'm going to put in the buy at 283. That is in
order working.
And I put the sell order in at 216. Just gonna wait for this bar to get close to closing before I do this. And I put that on.
Order working.
Put the stop losses on the respective other order, and then we aim for 100 points as well. So 216, 116, and up here for the buy order we go for 283, 383. So can we finish this Friday with a profitable day? We can't finish with a profitable week probably. I'm not going to be able to crawl back $240 unfortunately. So $150 will be our maximum that we crawl back pretty much. And then we finish the week with a loss. That's fine. We're up on the month. We're executing our trading plan, so I've got nothing to worry about at the minute. The question is, are we going to get taken long or short? We really don't know. S&P is doing what the S&P always does, stuck in its range. The NASDAQ's also stuck in a range. And the Dow is in a range, but it's in a large range from 283 to all the way down to basically where my take profit is at the bottom here. I wouldn't mind taking short here. I think short would be good. Obviously, the strategy states that we go with the one that hits first, at least. So if it goes short, then great. If it goes long, then also great. We work with that. No issues at all. So it looks like we're going to get taken shortly. Low is currently at 21, sorry. And it's starting to push lower than that. The S&P and the NASDAQ are also trying to push lower. So the question is the Dow going to give up? Is the Dow going to give up? If it gives up, then great. We're going to get a good reward, I think, out of this. If it gives up. If it doesn't give up, then yeah. We may have another losing day on our hands, but we will see. Total risk for today is almost 70 points. It's 67 points, so that's gonna be a total risk of about $190 for the day, which isn't an awful lot, which is good. Are you gonna go lower, DOW? Very close to triggering. We're about 2 ticks away. Yeah, 1/8 is the lowest it's gone on this candle. Very close to getting triggered, but nothing yet. NASDAQ is at the bottom of its, it's almost at the bottom of its range. The SNP, yeah, kind of almost at the bottom of its range as well. See what happens here. It's not the most comfortable position I have here, unfortunately. Yesterday I had a really bad headache after the stream. I think it's because of the way I'm sat, but I didn't have much time to fix anything yesterday for how I'm going to sit today. I just got back from swimming. The weather here is terrible, and we spend quite a lot of time indoors at this time of year, unfortunately, because of the weather. And today was really bad, so we decided to go swimming. Instead, it's like 2-3 degrees outside, windy, wet, rain. And we are filled.
Stop filled.
Filled short 3 micro contracts on the DOW. And let's see what happens then today. The NASDAQ is still trying to push lower. And the ES is also now it's finally pushed through this that level below 20, then seems to be moving a bit quicker. Let's have a look in the 1 minute, just see what happened. Our stop loss doesn't have any logical place really yet, maybe around 3.253. But the risk today isn't too big, so I'm not too worried about trying to get the stop loss down so quickly. Like yesterday, we had such a big trigger bar that I was more worried about trying to get the stop loss down and reduce the risk than I was about anything else. And we managed it in both cases. We got the risk down to half in both cases. And it meant that we didn't lose as much as we potentially could have done. So that was a good decision. But today we've got, like I say, about $190 worth of risk we can do in total, and I'm happy to leave it for that, at least until we get into some significant profit. If we get into some significant profit. You can see here our trailing drawdown. So this is calculated off the maximum position that our account has been. So I think we had $26,200 or something like that. Yeah, 180, $200. And from that we've come down $500. Our maximum trailing drawdown is $1,500, and that goes off the highest position that the account has ever been in whilst I've been trading it. And that is yeah, $1,000 at the minute we've got left that we can trail, we can lose, so we can go down to about 24,700, which I'm not too worried that we will get down there. I don't think we will. The market's had some good movements recently, and even after this week, like, it's been a crappy week, but you just gotta stick to your strategy and trust that it works, and know that you have the edge if you have an edge, and just go with the flow, because if you're not here and you can't trade it, then you're not even trying. So when the trade is there, you have to try and take it. You have to take it, which leads me on to Monday. I can't take the trade on Monday, unfortunately, because I'm working on Monday. So I'm working on Monday and Tuesday, but Tuesday I finish earlier than Monday. Monday I finish at local time 4:30, and the market opens here at 3:30. So there's no way I can trade that, unfortunately. So I check our stops in the right place here. 7883, yeah. Oh, the Dow's making a nice swift move back up. It's definitely the strongest out of the three. The strongest open, currently the strongest across the board, basically. Yeah, but on Tuesday I'll be able to trade. Thankfully, I'll be able to get back in time for the market open and be able to trade this, and then Wednesday I'll be able to trade both the open, well, the 30 minutes after the open, which we always trade, and then I'll be able to trade the FOMC as well, which is exciting. Should be fun, because I've not done that on the live stream before, so it's should be interesting to see how that goes. I've traded the FOMC quite a lot in the past, and it's good fun. Quite late here when it comes out, the news, I think it's like 10 o'clock, but and we usually finish trading about 11. I don't usually take any trades for the first 40 minutes, so I'm just gonna have to be back in a second because my son's crying. So. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's just a bit moody because he woke up early today and he's not had much time to sleep. So he's gonna go to sleep now, I think, for an hour or so. But the Dow's not really doing much at the minute. It's not going lower. The NASDAQ hit the bottom of its range at 506, and made a nice return off that. The S&P didn't hit the bottom of its range, but it is pushing higher slightly as well. The Dow is the strongest, and it looks like we're about to be taken long. Yeah, but this month we've had a lot of winning days. A lot of winning days. 3 losing days so far. Two very annoying days last week. That meant basically if we'd taken profit on those days when unfortunately we're 2 points away and 4 points away on the respective days, and we could have been funded this week already. But it would have been a bad start to this week. So maybe it's a good thing that we didn't get funded already, because psychologically getting funded and then going straight into losing days is more difficult than being up still on the month on the evaluation account. So what's going to happen here, though? You've just finished your first 15-minute bar after we've entered a trade. So are we going to get any more downside, or are we going to start to move back to the upside? Lots of wicks on all of the NASDAQs and on the S&P. Big wick on the DOW as well. Once again, technical analysis would say that after this big upside bar, if we get a small sort of inside bar, which we did on this red bar, you can put a buy order above it, you can put a sell order below it, and that's essentially what we did. That is the strategy in this case. Then and you can go with that. And that isn't the strategy we're using, I just like to say, but it just coincided with that strategy today. And you will put the stop loss at the other side of this bar, which is what we've done, exactly what we've done. But the strategy is not that. But we've been taking short, and hopefully we're about to get back into a profitable trade. Both NASDAQ and the ES are trying to push lower, but nothing really is working for them at the minute. It breaks this lower part 3219, so basically where our entry is. If it gets past there again, then it feels a bit better, because we are definitely still at the top of the range. Top of the range being between 38274 and 38116, basically where my take profit is. And it's got to the top of the range, and it might be starting to try and make its way down again. Whether that's gonna work or not is another question. We did have a double top here, but there's also one here, and yeah, I don't like it when we're in a position like this so much, because we could be on board with some early sellers at this high, and yeah, we could have been maybe doing the selling at this point instead, and well, that's what typical technical analysis would show. But you never know, that's the thing. As we repeat that every single day on the stream, you never know. And if we did know, we would be rich men by now, and women. But I don't need to say women, because 100% of people who watch the stream are men. 100% of people who watch my content are men, so there's no point in even pretending. So Dow, are we going to push lower? Are you going to break like the other ones? NASDAQ and the ES have been pushing lower since the open, basically. NASDAQ opened flat on the first 15 minute. S&P pushed higher, but then it's just been followed by downside. Dow pushed up, strong candle on the first one, and it's been followed by not much follow through. So your guess is as good as mine, to be honest. Every time both the NASDAQ or the S&P start to get down to the lower parts of the range, they're just getting pushed right back up straight away. But they're still not going up either. So I think the Dow is just going to stick around in its range here as well, between basically where my entry is and where my stop loss is at the minute. I think we're probably going to get some upside at some point shortly, because we've tried going down. We've tried going down once, twice, 3 times, and we've not had any luck on the NASDAQ anyway, and on the S&P, and on the Dow kind of the same. So once we've tried going down, there's only one way we can go if it's not going down. And that's up. It's just unfortunate we got trigger short if that's the case. Yeah, NASDAQ's pushing, S&P's finally pushing higher anyway, but it's still within its range. NASDAQ's range finishes around 568. Dow looking like it's gonna try and break out as well. Last few days it's just done this. All this week it's just been I've just been bracketing the range basically, and it's rather than getting breakouts of that range, we've just been getting fake outs and small breakouts, and then getting pulled back into the range and in the other direction. It's just not my week this week so far. Looks like we're about to get stopped out. Yep, stop
filled.
Got a little bit of slippage as well, unfortunately. So minus 102, so minus 106 with commissions, and we got a whole, how many points? 1 point slippage, nothing much. So now we're taking long on the Dow, and this is the one I wanted to be in originally because it is the strongest market. It makes sense to be along the strongest market, but yeah, that's not what the market had in plan for us. So but now we're long, essentially back to where we kind of wanted to be in the first place, and we'll see how it works out. Hopefully we don't get another third day in a row with 2 stopped out positions. The thing that worries me about going long though is this high here. This is the all-time high on the Dow, I think. 38,301, 302, whatever it is. And if we get there, then we might see some sellers. But we keep our stop loss where it is for now, and we see if we do get any sellers. You never know, we might have a lot of stop losses there, and it might trigger actually higher prices as a result. NASDAQ is finally pushing higher. See if it breaks its range. S&P will see if it breaks its range as well. 17571 is basically the top of its range, so it's just hit that now. See if it gets through that, and it's got an upper limit of its range at 17588 as well, so it's 20 points away as well. Of course, it's hard having psychologically 3 losing days in a row if that's what happens today, but it is what it is. There's not much you can do. Just gotta go with how it is going at the minute, and just trust the process. Trust your strategy. But it is still pushing high the Dow at the minute. The NASDAQ's really trying to push out, which is good news. And the S&P is also looking like it's trying as well. I'll try and take a look at the daily charts on investing. Oops. Yeah, sorry if I'm not so talkative today. I just feeling a bit tired for some reason, and fancy a bit of a rest. But I'm definitely going to be here at least for another half an hour. Hopefully we get the close of the position before then, whatever direction it may be, positive or negative. Got a 15-minute bar closing on its highs on the NASDAQ from a strong after strong attempts to push down, and I don't usually like that, as I say many times in the last few days. I prefer it when it gets to a good high but then it comes back and then starts to push higher again after the candle has closed. Let's see on the Dow. Yeah, the Dow yesterday had a very nice finish, should we say. I think we should expect to have a strong finishing today, just from looking at the daily charts anyway. But it's got no wick at the bottom, which worries me a little bit, that we're still gonna at some point today see lower prices. But we do have it on the, we definitely have it on the NASDAQ and the S&P, so we might just avoid it on the Dow, and it might just have that lower wick on the SP and the NASDAQ today, if we get to see higher prices, that is. Okay, so we're slowly pushing, which is nice to see. On the 5 minutes, there's nowhere really we can put our stop loss. On the 1 minute, we can nowhere logical, maybe around 382.40, maybe. Try and reduce our risk. Not yet though, not yet. I don't feel comfortable yet. I want to see the NASDAQ has broken pretty much out of its range. I'd like to see the S&P starting to make new highs on the day as well. But like I said, what I'm worried about is this double top on the Dow. This one here. People potentially maybe start to sell this, so we've gone above that now. We might be starting to get some sellers in. There is definitely a band forming here on the right. There's quite a lot of volume being performed at this level anyway. Whether that is something that is going to affect us is another question. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully we continue to push higher here. New highs on the day, hopefully soon for the NASDAQ. We're passing through the opening price on the NASDAQ, which is a good sign. Sorry, opening price was down here, so we passed through the opening price, strongly through the opening price, quite a lot. On the S&P, we have also passed through the opening price down here. As I said, those have made lower prices for the day. The Dow was basically opened and just shot up straight away. So its daily bar so far is just one big green block, being on its highs at the minute and not having any lows lower than the open. So maybe we won't see any lower prices in the Dow as a result of it today, and we can expect a trending day. But it all really depends on these two, I think. If we make higher prices here on the NASDAQ and the S&P. But currently, as it stands, we've got $50 of open profit on the Dow, which is half of our loss pretty much. So we're still strongly above this double top here with this all-time high. I think this is an all-time high now we've just made on the Dow, which is good news. The Dow has made all-time highs again today. It's been an all-time high week pretty much for a lot of the markets. Dow is definitely trying to push higher. NASDAQ is suffering from double top syndrome, and S&P is also not pushing out of these overnight highs. Sorry, so hopefully we get a good push on both these markets, the NASDAQ and the S&P. Dow is still steaming ahead, by far the strongest market of the day. That's why I wanted it to go long first rather than short, but we got taken short anyway. So come on down, let's push harder. Let's get up to 100 points would be nice. The NASDAQ is, the S&P is really trying as well, which is good to see. NASDAQ just needs to break above this high. If we break above this high, then I am feeling confident for the Dow anyway, because that is by far the strongest market of the day. Currently sitting still at above that double top, which is what I'm most worried about, that it's gonna drop after that. Don't see an awful thing is, we do see quite a lot of selling. We see a lot of volume anyway at this price level, indicating that there are people trying to sell, which is good, because I mean, if it doesn't go their way, then we see a rip to the upside, because we're going to have them in a bit of a panic, because they will not really have a stop in place. I don't think they'll have. The thing is, when you have an all-time high, where do you put your stop? Usually, you put your stop below a recent recent swing high or swing low. But when you've not got a recent swing high and you're at an all-time high, where do you put your stop? And this is why a lot of people, when the markets are making all-time new highs, you'll find that there's about 70% of people short the market on those days, even though it's making all-time highs consistently. And that's about that's about the number of people that lose money all the time, 78%, even higher sometimes, 9%. So they're trading what they think will happen. They think that because we're at an all-time high, then it's got to come down. It's got to come down. That's what's in people's head. The psychology of it is that it's got to come down. Whereas instead of looking at the market and saying, okay, the market's just made an all-time high, why don't that's indicating to me that the market's strong. That's indicating to me that the market wants to go higher. Why don't I try and get on board and take some part of this momentum as well? And the thing is, people always say buy low, sell high, right? Buy low, sell high. The only thing is, how do you know if it's going higher or if it's going lower? Top pickers and bottom pickers become cotton pickers is another phrase that goes against that. Buy low, sell high. How about we say we buy high and then we sell even higher, and then we sell low and we sell even lower if the market's going down. Still, we get profit out of that, but we might not get as much profit out of it as if you would buy it low and sell high. But the chances of that happening, buy low and sell high, is pretty tough to do. So I mean we're on all-time highs now on the Dow. On the S&P, we're potentially about to make all-time highs again shortly. 4933 if we make it there. Yeah, that's an all-time high on the S&P, 3 points away, 3.5 points away. And on the NASDAQ's definitely the weakest today. It's been strange, the NASDAQ, all week in my opinion. It's definitely furthest away from an all-time high. An all-time high is currently 200 points away for the NASDAQ. So I don't think we're going to see all-time highs just today on the NASDAQ, but we might see a good push. But the thing is, that fills me with confidence to say that we're going to see higher prices, because yeah, we might get some sellers up here at the all-time high, but the thing is, where did they put their stop loss? Where are the people that have sold now? Where have they put the stop loss? Now, this is the last all-time high of this market. 4 p.m. local time, 4 days ago. I know it's been doing that since then. It's just going up and down, up and down. But now we've got people selling short the all-time high. Where do you put your stop loss? Where have these guys got the stop loss? Have they got it here? Have they got it here? Have they got it here? Have they got 20 points away? Have they got 100 points away? Have they got it 200 points away? How do they know where to put it? They don't really. So now they're in trouble. All these people that sold here, look at it, quite a lot of volume as well. All these people that sold here, where they put the stop loss now? And they're in negative trade already. They're in a losing trade already. Now, what do? You start to panic. People start to panic. Oh, it's going higher, it's going higher, it's not doing what I thought it was going to do. It's going higher, it's going higher. It's not doing what I thought it was going to do. So, what do? We panic and we buy back our short. And what's that going to do? It's going to give us more momentum to the upside. More people buying the market at a higher price is going to give us a higher prices. So for people like me who have already been long the market for, well, not that many points ago, 80 points, no, 60 points, we're happy because we're essentially taking that money off of them now. I don't know if we're going to make it to the 100 points. I really don't know. I hope we are. Because then we get a day of profit at least before the weekend on what was not the best week in total. Still leave us down for the week substantially, not substantially, $200 will be down for the week, which is a lot less than all our winning weeks anyway. I'm going to move my stop up here now. Reduce the risk. I'll leave it here for now. NASDAQ is still not breaking out, huh? I thought the NASDAQ would have broken out by now. The S&P is definitely broken out of its recent. In fact, the S&P has. Oh, it's still not done it. I thought it was going to make a new all-time high. 4933.5 is the all-time high for the S&P. We've reduced risk. I just wanted to double check where I've put that risk. Nothing really on the 1 minute to tell us where to put it. To be honest, I think we can either leave it here at 40, which is where I originally said, or we can move it up to 70. I think I'm going to move it up to 70 shortly. Yeah, 71. Move it up to 71, and that pretty much reduces our risk to almost zero. It gives us 13 points of risk, so that's like $20. Yeah, $20 of risk, which is fine. Would leave us at 100 minus 120, $130 for the day if we get stopped out now. So I'm happy with that very much. So just need NASDAQ to sort of get its ideas together and get its self into gear, and we start to push up here. It's not made it's not made this double top yet, but it's getting close to a double top definitely. The S&P has gone through its double top and still not made an all-time high. That is here. 33.25. It is the high, latest all-time high, and if we break that, then we've got a new all-time high on the S&P as well as the Dow today. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. Hope we're going to make the 100 points on this trade at least, because that would give us a profit for the day on what is been not a brilliant week, but it would be nice to have at least a winning day before the weekend, even if it is going to be a smaller winning day than what we're used to. But this week's just been terrible anyway. I can already put in, we've had 2 trades here. Is this all been programmed? Yeah, that's been programmed correctly. NASDAQ's trying. It's just made a new high, and the S&P has, let's see, history being made once again. when everyone's telling us that we're going into a recession. 32.25, 32.5. Come on, S&P, you can do it, you can do it. Want it to pass here, 33.25. So 32.5. The Dow trade is doing well. We're $25 away from take profit. So that's about 15, 17 points. I'm more interested in the S&P making a new high, and it has just almost close, very close, almost done it. I think it's done it. No, still not done it. Still one tick away. We're witnessing history in the live stream today. It's been done many times before. It will be done many times in the future, but it will never be made, and it will never pass an all-time high at this point again. Literally one tick. It's 4933.25. That is a double top for you, if you've never seen one. Dow trade was getting close to taking profit, but it didn't quite make it. Let's see a push again on all three markets. The NASDAQ did break out, but it's obviously got some sellers in here. Are we gonna try again, S&P? Let's try again. You can't. We'll just match the all-time high then. Okay, let's just leave it for that for now. Match the all-time high. See if we're gonna break it. What concerns me more now is that the Dow is almost take profit. We were 10 points away, so that was $15 away basically, and we've not taken any profit yet on that position, but we have a stop loss in for minimal risk, pretty much. See what happens here. It will be annoying if we get stopped out at that point, but I am thinking there's going to be more buying. I just don't know if we're going to get the buying before we hit the stop loss or not, which should be frustrating. We definitely have a range in between here and between 38,333 and 38,374, maybe less, 370. And we've got a few resistance levels to hit before we get to our stop loss and entry point. So I'm not too worried at the minute that we're going to lose all that profit. What I want to see is this new high on the S&P. I'm not even trading the S&P. I am long term, but I'm not trading, day trading the S&P. Right, it's doing it again. I lost my mouse again. I can't see the actual mouse. Where's my mouse gone? Where's it gone? Maybe it'll just come back like it did yesterday. So S&P, we're trying again. We're trying again. That's pushing with the Dow as well. So we got a double push at least. We got back up to $90 on the Dow. The S&P is also in sync with the NASDAQ in the sense it's pushing as well. Are we going to see higher prices, S&P? Let's see. Are we going to make an all-time high? It's getting close. It's getting close again. It's getting damn close. Go on. Some people really don't want it to go to an all-time high, huh? It's got so a lot of people that are invested in a crash on the market, I think. And it's going to be painful if it keeps making all-time highs. I hope you can't see my mouse. Come on, Dow. Don't do this to me today. I had a crap enough week as it is in terms of trading, so I'd really appreciate it if you don't do this to me today and that you give me my take profit today. I think we are going to see higher prices today. I just don't know if we're going to get stopped out before we do see higher prices. And that would be annoying if we do. I've moved my stop up, so I can't move it back down. That is the philosophy of my stop loss. We cannot move that stop loss down and increase the risk once we've reduced the risk, even if we originally had it down here. We've reduced the risk by 60 points, so that's a big reduction in risk, which I'm happy about, because as traders the only thing we can control is the amount that we risk. That's the only thing we can control. We can control when we buy and sell, of course, but what happens after that, the only thing we can control is how much we risk, and I want to have as much control over that as I possibly can, and I want to reduce the potential risk that I'm taking in every trade as much as I can. So as soon as I can get that stop up to a logical place, and I'm not too happy with it being in a logical place because the markets are quite illogical sometimes, but at least I can get it to a place where I think that we should be safe to not get stopped out. And if we do get stopped out, then I'm kind of confident that we would see lower prices anyway at that point. So, are we going to see an all-time high on the S&P? You tell me. Come on, S&P. I want to see that 4933.5. There seems to be some sellers here. There's someone trying to not let it go higher. Or there's some top profit taking. Something like that. Dow trades back in the up to $100 plus. Come on, S&P, push. Come on. There we go. We've just seen an all-time high. History has been made on this channel. We will never see an all-time high at this price again. 4933.5 on the futures contract, that is. On the CFD markets, that will be less. But anyway, back to our trade. We're back in the green essentially for this last candle. We finished with an okay candle. I still think we're still going to see high prices. I think we're going to keep pushing up here. Friday usually isn't a day for us to rapidly change direction. If it starts making a direction, which it has done, then quite often it will continue in that direction for most of Friday. The daily candle on the non-futures market is a nice one so far. Currently at its highs, big strong candle to the upside, almost on its highs, opened at its lows. And the statistic that I'm going off here is that I can't remember the statistic. I need to read that. We need to read that statistic again. But basically, the open of the day, like 70% of the time, is within 20%. Is within, yeah, I can't remember, but it's very close to the high or low of the day. And I wouldn't say that the open of the day is close to the high of the day anymore. I would actually say it's closest to the low of the day. So I think it's gonna at least finish strong or up for the day today. The Dow Jones, whether it will meet our targets here, I don't know. I really hope it does, but we don't know yet. We're going to see some selling probably on the S&P because we do have that all-time high that's been made. And so we are probably going to see some people selling and trying to push the price down. And we're going to have to probably endure that on the Dow as well, because they are quite correlated, the S&P and the Dow. Well, I'll be annoyed if this goes all the way down to zero. Of course, I'll get annoyed in the sense of it's just frustrating to be to not get to take profit. And it's already been a pretty crap week of trading as well. Just had a run of 2 bad days in a row, and I don't really want a 3rd bad day in a row. But so yeah, of course it'll be frustrating, but it is what it is. I can be proud and happy the fact that I've stuck with the strategy. I've all of this week I've stuck with the strategy. And there's nothing more I could have really done. I've reduced the risk, the one thing I can control, throughout the week, to mean that we don't lose as much as we could have lost. And the rest is pretty much down to luck, my friends. It's not much more difficult than that. The rest of it is pretty much down to luck. We could have taken profit earlier, yeah, of course, but if we take profit earlier in all our trades, then that's what cutting our winners short means. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day here for the live stream. It's now 5 o'clock local time here. I'm pretty tired today, so I've been a bit quieter today as well when it comes to chatting. But hopefully we've all learned something, and hopefully this trade will finish today in a profit rather than coming down to our stop loss. Yeah, I wish you all a good weekend if you're watching this after the fact, and I wish you a yeah, good weekend. I'll be here on Tuesday next week. I won't be able to trade at all, I don't think, on Monday. So I won't even be able to put up shorts on Monday, which is the first time since 2024 started. So that will be strange for me, but we'll see how next week goes. Hopefully better than this week. We're currently finishing on 25,000, probably around 700 if we get stopped out, and if we get our take profit, then about $25,850 for the month so far. And we'll see how it goes. I wish you a good weekend, and I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Take care. All the best. Bye bye.